I'm in. Greetings again, me old bass chums. Right, this is the 2nd of January. It's absolutely pissing it down outside today. I'm still not back at work, as you probably can. Well, you don't know, do you? Well, I'm not back at work. Anyway, I just wanted to start off a quick little apology. I must apologise to the bloke at Pirate Lures, because out of all the bloody pirate lures I've got, hundreds of them, right? I say hundreds, loads of them. The one I picked out had its poor little eye missing, and then that's just one of them things, because obviously this one's been chewed to bits. So that one obviously was a casualty, but I've got absolutely loads of them, black ones, you know, oh, Jesus, loads. Anyway, so yeah, they are brilliant lures. Honestly, you can get other colours, but what I wanted to explain was that you can actually get your own colours. Now, like I'm getting on the colour of the yellow theme of lures, like, you know, like we use our Killer Little Venue, we actually, well, Steve Wood actually got our own custom colour made up. So next year, when the going's good, we are going to go and give that a try. Now, another couple of mistakes on the video. Oh, because someone messaged me, it's boring. So it's the S bloody whatever 125, not the SF. Does it really matter? You know, that's what people are like. And the blue lure that I couldn't remember the name of was called the Blue In 140S. I looked it up. I think I just put links in the thingy bobs if you want to buy them. The links are down below. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the other little mistake. My missus noticed this when I played it to her. One little clip, and there's a little mistake. I said at the end of April, beginning of March. Well, I mean, it was beginning of May, not March. So my bad. There you go. Right, anyway, let's get in the video. Got a lot to talk about. Well, welcome again. Right then, as for what I said in the other video, I was going to talk a little bit about how 2023 was for us lure fishing for bass. Now, in all honesty, I mean, I could tell you anything, couldn't I? Because at the end of the day, you're not fishing with me, you don't really know what's going on. In my opinion, 2023 was not the most productive year for me. A lot of that was due to the fact that I'm literally working 7 days a week. This bloody house cost us a fortune rent. They put our rent up miles. Anyway, there's no excuse. Do you know what I mean? I could go any time being a taxi driver, but like I said, I have a habit of not going when it really matters. But you know, getting back to the fishing side of things. The funny thing is, it's been the best year for like bigger fish. I mean, I've had more 60s this year than what I've had for, you know, in the last probably five years. It's been unbelievable. There was just a bigger stamp of fish for some reason. And because before this year, I hadn't had a 60 for two years. I had 58s, 59s, and that. I mean, quite a few, but not over 60. Which this year has been absolutely brilliant. But also, what I found, but it definitely is not through lack of fish. I know people that have had absolutely crushing sessions fishing in the daytime when we're at work. Do you know what I mean? Sessions, absolutely more than 40 fish, 30 fish in a daytime. And to me, that it just doesn't seem to make sense. Like I said in the other video, all my views of all my theories have completely gone out the window this year. It's really encouraging. I always used to think, you hardly catch anything on the shit tides, whereas the shit tides this year have been the most productive. Now, getting back to when we've been going, I mean, obviously I keep going on about my killer little venue that we've got, you know, but it's the chances, the window of opportunities to go to that little place is pretty much zero. There's only a few little times throughout the year that it actually seems to clear. It's normally pretty grim. Do you know what I mean? as I said, you know, when I used to put the sneck on that night, it was the water was crap, you know. I stuck the snecker on and I caught on that snecker, but it was quite like that. Like, you know, it wasn't 100%. Other times we've gone there, you've been able to see the rocks through the bloody water, you know what I mean? It's been that clear, you know, and you whack them sonics out that you can't get hold of, and you can feed them straight away. They're nudging at it and bang, you were in. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was like. We had a whole week of it like that, but the season before. Obviously, last year we had good times. Like I said, the first time I turned up 3 on the trot, and basically I tried to winch one up the side and it snapped. Well, that is what I'm going to talk about now, because what I had noticed, I've never ever had a fish snap at the hook for me, ever. I don't think, not that I can ever remember. Now, funnily enough, my mate Steve Wood, we were bait fishing once, and we'd been catching bass, you know what I mean? I can't remember what we were using bait wise, maybe peeler, maybe another little spot in our locale around our way. And what happened was he got two fucking clonkers on the trot, and his line snapped. And I said to him, "Hey, you got to make sure you got to make sure you tie your bloody knots properly. That's a fish of a lifetime." Now, for me, that's happened. Mr. Hypocrite has happened about bloody 5 times this year, right? And now I've just sussed out what it was. It's not in me thinking, oh, you're not tying the knots properly. I've tried and tried, but actually, I found that I had gone up heavier line. But what? It's this line. I don't want to give them a bad press, but I'm going to show you now. Now I tie a blood knot, and this is basically what happened. Look, you can't really see it anyway. I'm going to tie a blood knot. I should have my glasses on. I can't see bugger all. I put 5 little turns. It's what I always do, right? 5 turns. Put it in. Oh God, I can't see. Put it in. Put it in the hole. Oh shit, I fucked it up, look. Oh God, I can't see. Where's the bins? Oh, here they are. Excuse me. Right. Put it in, yeah, look, loads of turns there, so that's a good knot. Put it nice and tight. Fuck. No, that wasn't it. So what I do is, I must have chipped. My tooth. I always used to do it much better than that. Right, now put it in normal like that. Look, 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now normally I do 4 turns. 4 turns. Put it through the hole, as you do. Normal. Put it through the hole. If I can get it through the fucking thing. Right, yeah. Simple blood knot, normal blood knot, right? Yeah, no magic tricks here, look. Now you're telling me there is no fucking way in a million years, right? Anything, if I was trying to winch a fish up, one edge, it's going to snap it easy. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about that later. And then, what is that? Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, so that's it. And what I found was that line is absolutely shit. Now, before I went for that. It's not. I don't want to put fucking savage gear. Well, the trouble is, when I've used thicker line, I don't think I get so many takes. Maybe it's just the metal. You know, that's 21 pound. There's no way you should be able to snap that in your hands like that. So you can imagine, can't you? I'd used this line on my hook snoods when I was bait fishing, and we were fishing off bloody off Margate somewhere. It was the most blasting, blowing an absolute hoolie. The waves were smashing against the seawall and everything. We'd fished all night. We were using Peter, and I got the most cracking bite. Anyway, as I reeled the fish in, I could feel it. Oh my God, it reminded me of when I caught the bloody 11 pounder. It felt a proper lump. I could feel by the power of the head shakes, you know what I mean? I was getting it up. Anyway, now I had the dilemma of how the hell was I going to get that thing? Because we didn't have the landing that me and Steve would, because there was a slope to the left. It's not far, it's not like miles away. Like, that's why we used the drop net when we were lure fishing at the other killer little venue. There's a slope. But the problem was, my dilemma was that there was all cars parked right against the bloody railings. So you wouldn't be able to get past anyway. So what I opted to do is reel the line right down to the water edge, wait for the waves to go away, and try and lift it up. And as I tried to bloody lift this thing up, a fucking wave went crash and snapped the line. Fucking snapped it off. So I thought, oh Jesus, what I'll do is I'll check my knots next time and really pull them and make sure they're all right. Blinded. Didn't use the same line. I didn't use the bloody leader, my fluorocarbon leader that I use for, because normally I use bloody, what do you call it, that line, oh God, what's it called? I can't remember. Again, I can't remember. I should have got it out ready, because I leave myself little prompts now, so I try and remember what it was. Anyway, that's never going to snap. But what I found is, I think that line, sometimes these fluorocarbons are a little bit too brittle. Do you know what I mean? That snapped easy. And I practiced beforehand. I thought, I'm going to show you, and then it's not going to snap, and I make myself look a complete fool. But that's actually what happened. And then again, we went another time, and then sure enough, the whole lot snapped off because you know, you've really got to make sure you pull your bloody hook lines tight, or leader lines tight, or anything, because there's nothing worse than going away and thinking, Jesus Christ, I've just lost a fish that could have been a fish of a bloody lifetime through something silly like that. I mean, if it went round a rock and cut you off, then that's different, but for your bloody not to snap is sacrilege. Anyway, getting on to the next thing. So getting back to this little thing here, right? This is what they call it's a shore jigging jig. Now, what happened was, what I'd done was, I was looking through the videos on YouTube videos, and I come across something about, I put something in about Croatia, and Montenegro came up, and they were shore jigging in obviously Montenegro and Dubrovnik and places like that, and there was also one, I can't remember the geezer's name. Can't remember, geezer in Greece using all these jig heads with these Savage Gear, great Savage Gear rods, I like the line, but you know, using these heavy rods and whacking these jigs out, and what they do is they must go bloody miles. That's 60 gram. That is these jig heads, and what they do is they cast out. It goes out bloody miles, and it goes out miles, and they stand there. Because the water must be so bloody deep, do you know what I mean? Wait for it to be at the bottom, and they start reeling in like this. They're obviously bouncing it in the air as it comes up, and then what happens is, after a minute or so, they stop. Again, just stop reeling. Oh no, it hasn't come right in. Wait again. And start reeling in again. And then bang, they're in fucking into a fish, you know, fucking great big albacore or whatever it is, bloody, I don't know, them bonitos and things. Well, not as big as the albacores and what amberjacks and things like that they catch. Anyway, they're catching these things. But what it is, I mean, because obviously we don't get amberjacks and things like that, although people have spotted tuna down by the Isle of Wight, apparently. It's only what I've been told. Someone spotted a tuna jumping out of the water or whatever. And now what I figured was, right, because for us, like I said, mentioned earlier about how productive it had been in low tides in the thingy bob, and us being stuck at work and everything, I found that when we had gone at night time, in the middle of the night, we was catching fish. On the shitty tides, we were catching fish, And I figured what it was, it's because there's such a volume of water there still, whatever they're feeding on is holding, is staying there. Whereas when the tide drops really low, maybe the little fish, it's only my theory, I might be talking absolute rubbish, I reckon they're buggering off to deeper water, all like the bait fish and everything, because obviously the tide goes right out, we're standing, you know, can stand all over the bloody rocks. So what I figured was that obviously the bass are going out a lot deeper, because I've been there in the daytime when it's I have been there in the daytime and I've seen them on kayaks. I think fucking hell, they're catching them out there. So what I figured was they're still catching them, and you get boats coming in. They're not a million mile away from us. Do you know what I mean? But they are definitely out of our casting range with normal lures. So what gave me the idea when I saw these these videos in Dubrovnik and Montenegro or whatever, was to get a heavier rod and trying to launch one of these missiles right out there. I mean, that's going to cast miles. And like I said the other day, we went to go and try out the new rods, because I obviously snapped my rod last year, my Shimano, and I got a new tip made for it. But actually, when I got it back, about 4 days of Christmas, cost me 260 quid. I must admit, it made it mega. What I noticed was it was thicker. It was a bit thicker than the Disaster. That's the old Shimano that I'd left with him, because what I said was he could actually take the eyes off of this rod and put them on this one, but he didn't like them, so he got these Torzite things that he obviously put them on. Obviously, I don't really know nothing about that. I've never had a rod built before, but I did this time. Anyway, so it's obviously thicker, if you can see that. But the funny thing is, about when I first got the Shimano, I didn't like it. I thought, God, it's cost me 300 odd quid, right? I actually don't like it. It was too stiff. And then as I got used to it, oh, bloody hell, and went back to, oh, that's too floppy. Do you know what I mean? I got used to it and found that it cast soft plastics to nuts. It cast everything bloody blinding. It's just the fact that I weren't used to it. So anyway, so when I got my new rod back, I thought, rather than going and get the old carp rod out of the loft, because that's what I was going to use to try this jigging experiment out. It's only an experiment. It was just a bloody idea, because you're going to cast that. If you've got that's going to cast miles. And maybe, could it be the answer? I don't know. Anyway, but this is obviously thicker, and even though he's put this is only a 42, I think, bloody hell, my results is 42. It's much skinnier than that. Maybe it can handle it. Like I said, we went down to test it, but the other day when we went down to test, we only went down there for blooming half an hour, whatever. As soon as we got there, it absolutely hammered it down like golf balls. Do you know what I mean? I said, I am not getting out in that. I did have a few casts when it eased off a bit, but I just cast the normal lures because I thought maybe it might just be a bit too thick for the likes of a Kimono 2 or something a bit lighter. But no, it casts absolutely fine. By the way, there's Rob Emple, his name is. He makes rods. Like, he's got such a waiting list, but I've been waiting ages. But he is such a brilliant rod builder, I'll tell you honestly. It's quite, people all over the country come to him. He's one of the top rod builders in the country. Anyway, that's the rod. So that's what I figure. That is my theory for 2024. I'm not always going to bloody use it. It's just an example. I'll keep you posted when the time comes around, but don't go buying them and try and using them on your normal rod. I'll tell you what, you'll be trying to find a rod builder or buying a new rod. And the thing is, that cost me 260 quid. I could have probably got a really good rod for that. I'm not that bothered about spending 700 quid on a bloody, well, some people do, you know, them Genoses cost a bomb. I mean, one bloke who come fishes up our way snapped 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? Crikey, I'd be gutted. absolutely gutted whether we got them repaired or got a replacement tip, because I couldn't get a replacement tip for that. Of course, that was my first option, but just couldn't get one. I'm trying to repair that, because I actually repaired this rod. I repaired it. What I did is, because you can see the other bit, what I did is I got an old rod, another broken rod, but a cheaper rod, and I actually cut a section out and slotted it in. I slotted it through this old bit first, so it come out the other end, and then stuck it together with super glue. Now, another little funny little story. What I should have done was, I never thought about it afterwards. Bloody stupid. I should have got one of them squidgy earplugs, you know, the ones that you squeeze and put them in your ears if you worked in a noisy environment, and stuffed it down the hole first. The reason why is to stop the fucking glue, so I know damn well it's glued. Because what happened was, when I actually put it together, this bit on there, on the spigot that I had made, it was all right, but it was a bit wobbly. It was a tiny little bit wobbly. Do you know what I mean? So what I thought, what I'd do was put the rod up like this, and put the spigot in, and then pour the super glue down the hole. Now I left it in the corner, came back about 2 hours later, and it obviously run right through the thing and stuck solid to the carpet. It had come out this end. It stuck solid to the carpet in the corner of the room. So anyway, that was that. Like I said, and then obviously it worked a treat. It was all straight, everything perfect. When it went down there, I had about 4 casts, fucking snapped again. So that was the end of the show. Oh, it just seems such a waste. You know what I mean? That's obviously the other eye off the other end of the Shimano. Obviously he's replaced that, and obviously to change the eyes. I think they're Torso, I think something like that. And that's what happened, and I managed to get it off. Lucky it's in the shit room, because my missus would have gone bonkers. There you go. That's another story.